Hey there, folks. Back with a bonus episode here. Played a game against SaucySoviet last week, which was great fun, and we decided that what we would do is record both sides of the game. So that'll be good, and I see that he's got an awful lot riding on it, because if he wins, he goes into 1700s. So I hope to disappoint him sorely. So we're all up and running. I am going to get in the game. So we're playing 45 bid. So it'll be a grudge match for him as well, because last game he was on track for a win as USA, and I managed to squeak out a War Games victory. Yes, the banter was awesome as well. We had a lot of fun, I think, playing. We obviously shot the breeze a lot about the Reddit forum and how it operates. Not least because I believe one of us was stuck in trap for a few moves. It was me. Yes, I was stuck in the trap for more than 3 moves, but still managed to squeak out a War Games win, so that was lovely. And he was busy trying to realign in Chile and just not getting anywhere, so he was most chagrined. Let's hope that he gets in soon. Although neither of us were pressed for time the last time we played, so even if he's gone off to take a whiz, he'll be back in time. Thanks to those who asked for a high resolution uploaded to YouTube. Now, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I noticed that it was recording in 800 by 450, and I've jacked that up to 1200 by 675. So hopefully that will improve the resolution somewhat, although of course it'll take longer for me to upload. Saucy's a 1 bidder, fine, he can be the USA. And we'll see what he has to say. So, 4-4-1. I've got independent reds, which is lovely. I guess the obvious headline from this lot is Arab-Israeli war, a 50-50 chance at flipping Israel. And then if I can coup Iran, I'm also capable of busting him out. So we'll see how he sets up. If he goes 4-3-3, if he's holding socialist governments, then I fancy coupping Italy. If he sets up 4-4-2 and Arab-Israeli war wins, I fancy coupping Iran. Beer today rather than tea, since it's a nice Sunday evening. And this one is just for larks. I've still got an awful lot to learn, but it's nice that people in the 1650s above are giving me a hand. So let's see, where's he going? He's going 4-4-2, so we will headline Arab-Israel. Don't expect to see Marshall plan because he's not set up to take France, which I agree is now the best opening. Last Chance Z on the Reddit forum has said, obviously, the old scatter around the battlegrounds for domination thing matters much less than continuing to make a concerted push for France. So even as the USA, don't fear de Gaulle, don't fear Suez, overprotect obviously against them, but you know you're making USSR pay to be in there, so that's definitely legit advice. Well, so he's getting Europe scoring out of the way early, just in case. Israel fails. With Europe gone, Iran seems like the obvious choice to coup anyway. So here we go. Okay, so sometimes that's the best result for the USSR, because it denies the chance of a re-coup and re-access. What I'd probably like to do next, depending on his riposte, is take Iraq and Jordan, sorry, for domination, and obviously to deny gateways into Iraq and Saudi Arabia. Europe is just going to have to sit tight for a while. I'll obviously wait for de Gaulle if I can get it. Boy, all the scoring cards. I'm going to make his life very difficult recording as well. You can tell. Bit of a pain in the arse, me. No, let's go the other way. Let's go the other way. Let's make it harder to take Jordan. If I'm going to do that, I might as well just play independent reds and trigger it, just in case. If his next play was Romanian abdication, I would be really, really annoyed. That's fine. It's going to be an interesting start to the game. I'm probably going to space Formosa because I want to try and keep the China cards. Obviously, it depends if he captured Nazis or gets to space before me. Poor guy. Yeah, he really got the shaft last game, so we were just like, look, you deserve a rematch. And then we were like, well, look, we're both on Reddit. Why not record it? See if people fancy dissecting our play. I, of course, am very open to feedback. I've been mullered left, right, and centre today and recently. So I'm definitely game for... Okay, well, he's offering me a coup target, and I'm going to take it. It goes really badly. So he may try coupping Iraq to drop DEFCON and keep Egypt safe, although, of course, NATO lets me back in the early war. So now I think I may maybe revise my plans. I'd play containment at the end, obviously. Boy, oh boy, options. So he's pushing into Thailand. If I can keep DEFCON at 3, I can try and coup it next time. So let's put Formosa into the mix. There's enough time for me to pass Asia back and forth. It's not the worst card in the deck. And we'll see what he makes of that. He may coup it straight back, and that means he's not progressing into Thailand. He's ditching blockades, so that'll come back at some point. A great coup. I will coup it straight back, and we'll just back and forth, I guess. So he's not got any cards he's afraid of holding. He's going to play out this turn. Sheesh. Okay, so I take a battleground and try to die in domination. Let's see what he makes of his AR6. If he doesn't drop DEFCON, I might get lucky and get Vietnam Revolt, although of course DEFCON will be at 4, so Vietnam Revolt plus duck and cover would be nice. The old defectors check hasn't been. I'm keeping out a 5-year plan. You never know what it's useful to ditch. He knows Korean War's been, so he might choose to take South Korea and shore up with Taiwan and Japan. And I suppose I've made an attractive target of Taiwan. But he's spacing. Will he win? He does not, so that stays open. Captured Nazi remains attractive, but I do not get it. I do get D-style though, which always comes in handy. I'd like some more ops before I pitch into that. Decol is obviously attractive as well because it lets me into Thailand, but I've got no way of dropping DEFCON twice. So, options. In order to play D-style, I need to pull everything out of Europe, which is unattractive. So it might be one to hold on to for later. I'm worried about defectors, so I can't play Decol. If it defects, that sucks. Whereas if I wait until DEFCON's 3 or 2, I might be able to use it to push into France and threaten him. So there's Fidel, all those socialist governments. Socialist governments basically reduces Italy and West Germany for me to soften it up. If I'm going to play US-Japan, I'll use it to take South Korea, so it's a battleground for a battleground. So, I think I'm going to play Fidel, because that's not, I don't regret it as much if it defects, and it's less powerful than socialist governments, which I might play for ops anyway, so yeah. And it defects, so okay. That's nice, makes me feel like I'm a clever dude, rather than just a lucky one. So what are my options? I can China card coup Malaysia, in the hopes of making it unattractive for pushing into Thailand. Yeah, let's give that a go. Tell me if I'm bonkers. Not as soft as I would hope. My next coup will probably be with socialist governments to drop DEFCON and then use decol. Okay, so he's given me some D-style influence, which is nice. I'm going to put one in each of those for Truman Doctrine now Independent Reds is gone. So I'm assuming he's going to try and coup Malaysia, and I'm hoping it'll fail. Well, it's going for him, so he's pushing. Yeah, he pushes, obviously. So I will say, if you want Thailand, you can fight for it. Battleground for a battleground. So he may try an alarmingly haiku there. Haiku. Only so many syllables in the commentary. So there's a lot of 4-op cards still out. Nuclear Test Ban, Purge, Marshall. But even if he softens it up, I can decol as well. Mustn't forget not to look the other way with Middle East scoring still out as well, because he may just drop an influence into Libya. Well, I was lucky to get decol and D-style, so I've got no excuses if he hits 1700. Solid win record on both. Well, he forfeits a third of his games. I find it interesting. I'm surprised by how many people have high forfeit rates. I don't know if they're from back in the day. Okay, so he's taking South Korea, but I may be happy and hoping if Korea will flips it back. So let's drop DEFCON. Glorious. Another fantastic coup. So now it becomes the question of, do I coup with NORAD? Lots of people talking about NORAD recently on Reddit. My opinion is it's really only a problem once you're sharing influence in places. I, of course, am not. Okay, so he drops it. So we will decall. That forces him to play into France. Yep, okay. We've seen socialist governments go, so there's always the gall still. So I'm now going to try and space NORAD, even though I've just said it doesn't matter so much because I'm not sharing territory in a lot of places. That fluffs, not doing very well in aeronautic administration. So he gets to CNS for the point. Neatly done. So I'm going to play Truman Doctrine. Where am I going to play it? I'll push up the country. Well, no, I suppose I want access to Pakistan. So, threatening Asia for a rescore. Yes, he may now put an influence into Libya, but I've denied him country count because he doesn't have all the ops to put into Israel. Although that is attractive now, he's got Lebanon and Egypt, although Nasser can break that, and so that can win it back. And he'll probably push up the country count for Europe domination as well. But I'm hoping for a de Gaulle duck and cover. Excuse me. The de Gaulle duck and cover. Ah, yes, of course, he has Taiwan for the moment. I do get de Gaulle duck and cover. So I can take Europe. I'm even fearing a rehash of defectors. That's the obvious option. Of course, I may get purged, because that hasn't come out, and he probably is salivating at the prospect of doing that to me. So I guess I trigger D-style this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and then use 5-year plan to ditch Romanian abdication. He defects it. Which means I'm now interested in spacing duck and cover. So I will try a coup of Libya. We know Middle Eastern scoring's out. Not flipping much at the moment. So I'll push 2 into Iran. I will threaten country counts in Asia. And I'll D-style into South America. So we know we've got Middle Eastern scoring, and he knows he's going to race me, so he may put 1 into Libya, but he knows it's going to be back and forth. Now he's threatening Europe as well. I can live with Algeria there for now. As I'm spacing duck and cover, I will deny Asia domination. I suppose the best place to do that is Malaysia. Of course, I've just lost my access to Italy doing that. But it's looking increasingly like I'm not just going to wander into it. So I'll be hoping for, I don't know, some sort of glorious purge blockade later on of West Germany. At the moment, he's definitely got the upper hand. Middle East is going to score for 0. Yep. So I will space duck and cover. I suppose I'm in no rush to space, actually, because he's got the advantage there as well. So I suppose the next job will be 3-3 on territory count anyway with Asia. I'll take Algeria. I've got access to Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, so if he wants to start playing chase the countries, we can do that. I just need to remember, once I've D-styled, he's got Europe, okay, comes straight back out. It's a shame about de Gaulle. I will take the opportunity to space that now. So he's going to go into the mid-war with the upper hand. He's obviously spacing Korea despite there being little chance of problem. So I use D-style. Take 1 out of Thailand, because obviously a brush war is unpleasant. And I'll put 2 in there, 2 in there, and I need to remember to add some more into each of those before the start of the next turn, because Voice of America wipes me straight back out. I've seen a lot of people, straight after a D-Style in the early war, try and realign as an attractive option. So we'll see what he does with these ops. Yep. Okay, he's not dumb. And he gets them. Well done, him. So we ditch Romanian abdication for extra ops. I can put one into there. So Voice of America can still wipe me out in South Africa, and I'm going to add one here in case of a brush war at the start of turn 4. So yes, he's definitely going in with the upper hand to the mid-war. Well done, him. He's a better player than me, so, you know, I have to accept that. But I'm happy to hear if you think I did anything bonkers. The China card coup of Malaysia, for example, would be a reasonable one to assert. So he gives me NASA for now, but obviously Sadat will make a change there. Well, where's that influence going? You tell me. Okay, so he's doing the old splitting option. So do I quagmire him? And now what is there to salt as well? Nothing massively attractive to salt just yet. Because the other option is I can Cultural Revolution him. Take a card off him as well. And if you quag him later on in the turn, no purge still, so I expect he'll purge me. Seems reasonable. And I want to play Cultural Revolution after Nixon. I'd rather give him the points and then take the China card. So nuclear subs at the end of the turn. I'm spacing Colonial Rear Guards out of this lot. Alright. I'm going to start with a quag. I know that means that NORAD's now no longer prevented. So I need to remember that later in the war. Obviously it means if he does a Suri, I've got some time to respond to it. And obviously Arsenal at the end of the turn, if I need to. I'll play Nixon before Cultural Revolution. My first coup, ideally, is Panama. And I ideally get it, so I can claim Central American scoring for something. So let's see what he makes it. Now, you know, he's got tons of cards. He's got Purge, Voice of America, Voice of America the deck, Rush War. Yeah, he's purging me, fine. So I will start by coupping Panama, and then I'll follow it up with a coup of Colombia. Okay, that went better for me than other coups. It's only worth 2 points. So I get rid of that card for nothing. Let's see how he quags. If it's more than 3 times, he'll complain on Reddit. But he gets out first time. Fully for him. Alright, so I'm going to give him the 2 points for Nixon. But then I'm going to use Cultural Revolution later on to claim it back. So we're probably going to have a coup back and forth there. Which makes me have to think about how I'm going to deploy the cards most efficiently. Ah, so he didn't headline grain sales, he purged me instead. What's he going to salt? Will he double purge me? This goes for the straight coup. So I'm going to let him Arsenal now, and if I see Lone Gunman go, that's a bummer. Empties Colombia, that's probably the best result for me. So all my cards are going this turn, that's fine. I want to take Cultural Revolution to take the China card off him. If he plays into Central America, we end up sharing those honours. And at some point, if I could take South Africa and boost Angola, so he only had a couple of one-op cards, that's a good time to ditch Arsenal. That leaves him in the lurch, possibly with Lee Harvey Oswald later. But yes, I'm playing nuclear subs on the last turn. And of course, if I space Colonial Rearguards, the option is to space nuclear subs, because obviously Africa is a very soft target. But the advantage is that okay, so he's taking South Africa, and he's going to Mexico. So I'm going to use the opportunity to space Colonial Rearguards first. Ah, I'm purged! No! Then I have to play them all, unless I use Cultural Revolution to get the China card, to avoid playing Colonial Rearguards. And that means he's free to Asuri me later on. Looking dicey. Okay, so where's he going to brush war? Somewhere in Africa. Yeah. And he gets it. So let's Cultural Revolution him. I mean, I have to play the China card, because Colonial Rearguards, I now have 1 op to repair 4 ops of damage, which is ridiculous. I'll probably use it to threaten down here, the China card. That seems like good. Boost Angola, take Botswana, and say, I'm coming after you in South Africa. And obviously, it currently gives me domination, so although he may use flower power now to flip Angola. Yep. So, other plans. Make it 2-on-2. And I'm going to have to give him nuclear subs in turn 7. So he'll probably coup Nigeria, and then he's suddenly a candidate for African domination instead of me. So how quickly the tide turns. And he gets Botswana as well, which I can't do an awful lot about. So I'm going to add another point to Southeast Asia. And if Africa scoring is here, that's good for him. Okay, this may be a quick game. Thanks for watching. I guess I've still got Lee Harvey Oswald in the deck, although I need to try and find a way of wresting the China card from his grip for that. I need to push back into Asia and take Pakistan and India, because I can threaten domination there. An Indo-Pakistan war is not out. So he takes Nigeria, continuing the relentless march in Africa. Do I get to see Africa scoring, or does he get it? Well, neither of us do. Got a lot of targets for Che. I get Lone Gunman, so I just have to put that back into the deck at some point. I get Fidel, but Central America's already scored. And obviously I can US intervention CIA, which is a bonus. I'll try and space Colonial this turn. So despite only having 1 target, and it being a 2-stability country, Che becomes my most attractive option, because if he does headline Africa scoring, I can at least deny him domination with a roll above a 1. So we'll go with that. And he's trapping me. Super duper. So he will claim Africa supremacy. Don't have any other coup targets. So I'll ditch Colonial Rearguards. And I succeed as well. It's not like last game. Yeah. Both out of our traps. Traps in a 1-er. Okay, so Africa's his. Oh, amazing. A stroke of luck. Alright, so my mission, given that I can't meaningfully contest Africa, so he'll push into Botswana and claim domination, and I don't have the ops for a coup war there. So I'm just going to take Pakistan and push into India, knowing I've got Indo-Pakistan war, and at least claim one territory. Okay, so now I'm forced to riposte. He may try realigning at 2-2, but I'll use UN intervention CIA to coup Zimbabwe as well. He'll probably just take the Africa scoring now if he's got it at domination. 6? Yeah. Oh no, so yes, of course, Chile is already quite attractive. Okay, so I'm going to just put Rushwell's already got, and I've got into Pack War. So next is UN incident for 3 into India, 2 into Burma, 1 into Yep. So now he may see the way Asia scoring's going and ditch it quickly. I have no offerings for space, really, so he's going to probably get to the 2 slot as well. So how am I going to come back in this game? We've seen Lone Gunman come out, so I just have to hope it hits him in the reshuffle, and there's some Aldriching, but he's doing very well at holding the China card, and of course now it behooves him to hold the China card because of Taiwan. These grain sales has gone on 5-year plan, so I can't be shortened into CIA suicide. And Southeast Asia will rescue me temporarily, but I've got a lot of work to do. So that's going to flip Egypt. Okay, well, there's a blessing for me. So yeah, so that's going to flip Egypt. So Middle East isn't really mine. I need De Gaulle to come back to take France. Italy's only a 1/3 shot with brush war. I can still blockade, at least. And I mean, South America story. If he OAS's, I'm in trouble, and puppet governments. Although that may soften up a coup target if I'm lucky. I've got a lot of work to do, basically. However you look at it. I'm going to take Afghanistan as well. I don't know, is that a wasted op? I'm going to put 1 into Israel against Camp David, and to make it harder for him to rack up ops in Israel. I'm assuming that Sadat will come to Egypt at some point. So what's his AR7 crisis? He doesn't have Africa, so I can coup Angola, which becomes 2 on 2. I'm not happy about seeing OS or puppet governments, so let's see what the AR7 crisis is. Pushing into Thailand. I've got Asia scoring. I've got Asuri River skirmish, and we will bury you, because UN intervention has gone. So I'll push Thailand back up to a safe level. I can use special relationship because UK is closed, so that's my AR1. I got OAS, which is lovely. I mean, that's not a bad deal. We know Africa's going to be a bitch kitten for me anyway. So I'm spacing Asuri, holding OAS, and playing the rest. So, he may play Southeast Asia for 4. Or ABM Treaty. Haven't seen ABM Treaty yet. Haven't seen Junta yet. Haven't seen Voice of America yet. So there's still an awful lot of fuss he can muster here. But at least... we'll see. We'll see. There's no at least, really, is there? It's only worth 3 points at the moment. But it's kind of hard to pick a place to get domination because it invites him to coup it. Peru is strong, but it's no Morocco. There are an awful lot of cards I'm not happy about seeing. So he's missile envying me. I'll give him NORAD. Because I don't want to give him Asuri, certainly. Push Thailand back up. Asia domination. So, he may try realigning Zaire, but that doesn't really do a lot because I just ditch Africa scoring with presence. Whoa! Don't know what happened there. Apologies. Anyway, we continue. Southeast Asia's scoring me 6, which is nice. He's got junta, so he may try some realigning shenanigans, but he's basically saying South America is going to be split. Fine. Yeah, Asia first. Make him sweat. I'm going to hand him Africa for 6, so he's back in the green. I'll take Argentina if he takes Brazil. Okay, so we're splitting the difference there. I will play special relationship while the UK is vulnerable, and I'll take Israel and Egypt, although I expect him to play Sadat, so it might be a waste of 2 ops. I may want to trigger Willy Brandt at the end of turn 6 or beginning of turn 7 to deny Europe domination in the reshuffle. I'm assuming there's going to be a reshuffle. Yeah, 10 cards there will be. He's got ABM, so he gets a free coup as well. Oh, silly me. Silly, silly. So now what are the options? Play a Suri. I'll play how I learned. Raise Defcon to 4. Offer him a coup target in Asia. And then coup back Zaire. Maybe. Well, if he's good, he'll now play Cuban Missile Crisis. Or just not drop Defcon immediately. So we'll see what he goes for. He is going for the coup. And he wants Thailand. And he gets it. So I will now coup and hope not to roll a 1. Super. Well, at least Asia scored. Southeast Asia is now less attractive. That's the price you pay. And he does have it as well. I will score Africa. I think I'm still spacing a Suri. I don't want to hand back the China card. That's a nice brush war target for me, of course. Will he get 2 points? No. So now, yeah, okay, I'm going to space a Suri. So we're even. I may still get 2 points before him. Who knows? So turn 7 reshuffle. Brush Ward's delightful for me if it comes. We've now seen the big ones, apart from Voice of America, which will still wreak havoc for me. He's going to put that in Thailand. Overprotect. Yeah. But I get ABM treaty this time. So I'll headline that and coup Thailand. Lone government's come back to me, which is a crying shame. Puppet governments is still a bit of a threat. He's grain salesing me, but I still at least get to ABM treaty first. He may give that back, although of course a good player hand shortens always. So now I don't really like taking Egypt because we know he's got Sadat. He may Kuzaya with it. I mean, it's sensible to take the card. I mean, there's been a reshuffle. He might think, you know, he's got CIA created. If I play a Suri, he's a goner. And he's doing that. That's fine. I genuinely think that's a good move. It now puts me in a position of deciding, do I immediately retake Zaire? It's a difference of 4 VPs. Oh, he gave me Panama back. I'm an idiot. I think he should have coup with that, to be perfectly honest. Shorten the hand. So I am going to pop 1 into Thailand. I don't know. I kind of feel like that gives him the advantage on deciding where to move next, but it may inform me as to how he's doing. I'll play socialist governments later in the turn. I've lost Willy Brandt. Okay, so let's see what he pulls. I basically... Yeah, so he takes it out of Thailand and Panama. So I can't re-enter Panama, but I can at least take Thailand straight back. I guess I'm spacing puppet governments because there's still an awful lot of options for him. He did have Africa. Nicely done. That reshuffle good to him. So I'm going to take the opportunity to space puppet governments right now and see if I can get there before him. I can. Bonus. I'm also going to take Israel for Middle Eastern domination. Africa's now scored. South America to break even, and I'll fight in Central America. So he's pushing into Brazil. So I will take Argentina and Israel. I'm going to trigger John Paul and pop the 2 straight in Poland, and I need to remember to worry about solidarity. But I'm going to AR 7 socialist governments. He's got Camp David, fine. There's obviously a risk of Isuri, but I want to keep these 2 1-op cards, really. Because it gives him access to Panama. So I don't want that. I've got my last 2 turns mapped out. Okay, so he doesn't want to leave the Middle East. He at least fails. I immediately neutralize the John Paul threat. So how am I going to win this game? He must not draw war games. I must find a way of contesting France, which is de Gaulle and AR1. Cuba's not occupied, so I'm not likely to beat him by DEFCON. Lone Gunman's already gone unless there's a turn 10 shuffle. I'm running out of options, basically. I'm genuinely running out of options, which is not glorious. So, do I... Yeah, so I'm going to have to give him something to think about. He can now choose to push into Saudi, threatening Europe, and hopefully de Gaulle will come back out. Or he may just shore back up in Europe. But we know he's got Sadat, and he's going to trigger it at some point. Okay, so he's OPECing me, and giving me a couple of points. So he's probably gonna Europe. Europe would be the sensible option, and so it goes. I get war games. He cannot use Star Wars. Decol is only so useful. So I do want to make it unattractive for him to coup this turn. Because I can use Junta for realignments if I get a decent coup in with war games, although of course Salt hasn't been removed. So I have to watch out for Salt too. There's not a lot of non-battleground coup targets, although if he does Salt he needs to drop DEFCON. So let's cover our bases with that. Not the most attractive, but it's possible. And I'm going to launch in with war games. I'm going to coup Venezuela and hope to junta Uruguay realign. So he's going to put one in Thailand, which immediately makes me change my plan and gives him an AR1 coup option instead. But I need to keep fighting for Asian domination, so again I don't seem to have a lot of choice. It also means I play Star Wars first, so if one small step comes out. Okay, so he's massively protecting Africa. Not necessarily happy about it, but I'm doing it. So I'm offering him a coup of Argentina. Of course I get a point for it, which is cold comfort. And I can junta into Uruguay and realign him back out. Let's see where he goes. He does. He does. So I will junta and realign. Big money, no ames, and he gets to keep it. Happy days. Yeah, a lot of nails going into coffins right now. I'll push into Saudi with Arab Israel and Summit to maintain domination there. But now it becomes a case of when the scoring cards come out. At least he didn't use Cal. That's something. And he's got domination in South America, of which I cannot do very much. I'm going to hand him that too. I just seem to be handing him victory points left, right, and centre. It's adapt, so I'll just use Summit to take Saudi. And then maybe he'll play AWACS. Of course, with Muslim Revolution gone, playing AWACS isn't the smartest thing in the world. Now it's a question of whether or not I hold on to War Games. OAS gives him access. I mean, he's already got access to Cuba. I mean, these just give him access to Panama as well. Of course, if I'm lucky, he might get greedy and push into Cuba and I can Ortega him, but he's holding the China card again. So this has been a rather dull game. I bet you his side of the recording will be a lot more chipper. But be sure to check him out. I don't know what his YouTube feed is, so I can't tell you, but we're on the subreddit for Twilight Struggle. He does one small step me. Oh boy, boy. I'm literally going to hand him the rest of the Americas. Of course, he may choose now to push into Peru, which would be smart, because then it's a realignment target. But I'm hoping he'll get greedy and push for Panama. So we'll see. Peru would be the obvious choice. I've got a lot of work to do. Yeah, we are not going to, yeah, so that's smart. Smart. 50-50 chance of loosening him up. Oh, got lucky. So De Gaulle's still to come out, but yeah, no doubt, he's too true. So if De Gaulle comes out and I can flip Europe for a while, I mean, obviously tear down this wall and solidarity are risks. I mean, I can only really come back by flipping Argentina or Brazil. Brazil, I guess, at this point. Fideling into Cuba, because Fidel still hasn't triggered, and denying him Africa control. It's a big ask. I'm up without a barrel. Let's see where he goes. So I guess I use decall to, I mean, it's weird not triggering that for the event. But it's not going to do a lot here, mind. So a Brush War of Algeria would be nice if I could draw that card. He gets to see my headline, of course. Bonus 2 points, lucky me. And of course, yes. So, I will overprotect Korea and hand in Panama, and I'm holding on to War Games. I couldn't persuade him to release the China card, so he's protecting himself against hand shortening, although of course Iran's not come out, terrorism hasn't come out. He's got Aldrich, jolly good. What's he going to chuck? Asia scoring. Yes, you charmer. So that's the jig up, really. I needed those points to kind of put me in the running with Europe scoring and South America scoring still to come out. So I think there goes the game. So yes, not a lot to say. Breaking Poland as well, and solidarity is still a risk. So I got Central America scoring. Shuttle diplomacy doesn't actually affect me, so Usura is the one to space. Pershing for the point and to deny Europe. If you get tear down this wall as well, control is a major risk factor. But this at least softens up West Germany briefly. Okay, so let's see where he says. He'll say Europe, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay, so he will be vying for control. They want to have Canada to coup. And I coup Brazil. And all I do is empty it. So he will play straight back in there, which at least gives me a turn he's not attacking Europe. But things are looking dicey. Europe control is a nice embarrassing way to lose, so I'm happy to oblige and entertain. Yeah, so he'll keep pushing. I will keep making his life difficult in other places. The longer I distract him, the better. I will just give him Central America. I'm not going to fight over 3 points. So he gains the upper hand in Europe. So I will continue to press to break South America. He needs to take Poland and put 4 ops into East Germany to make it presenceless, at which point he wins, with Europe scoring, even though it's not control. I think my only chance of winning in retrospect was if he hadn't Aldrich Asia and Middle East scoring had come out first. I would have had the opportunity to play War Games, but that's a bit of a parlay. So I'll put 1 in there and 1 in there. Of course, with shuttle diplomacy, that's now neutral, although, of course, scoring is academic at this point. Okay, so he's happy to be terrorized. So 4 ops to break East Germany. So they might use the China card, and then European scoring ends the game to his advantage. Yep. So I will take the Middle East back, and if he plays Europe, scoring the game. So, oh no, it's only 12 points. My bad. I thought it was 13. If he puts 2 in and gets tear down this wall, the game's over for control as well anyway. So, anyway. Pretty comprehensively done by he. Good thing I didn't play War Games. He did have Salt. So there is, alas, no way for me to immediately cause trouble. I can take Missile Envy and see what it gives me. So, a few options. If he gives me one of his cards, I can pull the ops into Europe. If he's got tear down this wall, it's all a laugh anyway. So yeah, listen to his side of the bracket and see what you think. Hear from an expert rather than an amateur. Hope the quality was better this time. Please comment if it's not, and I'll have another look. Maybe there's something else I had to do besides resolution, like frame rate or some malarkey. So some feedback on that's useful. Anyway, my opening coup has to be South America, I guess, to level up once I have tried to redress the East Germany issue. If we're going to have an ops, or at least I've got War Games and the China card. But I see no meaningful way back of winning. Of course. Just too many crises across the map. But that's what a good American player does. They institute crises, and he's done powerfully good. So I will keep hammering away at the games and see if I can get a better understanding. But it's been yes, it's been a schooling session, certainly. So there we go. Oh, I get purged as well. What a delight. Just for good measure. I get brush war at least. So, I guess I have to go for the 1/3 chance in Italy to deny. Boom! And now I coup Brazil. Good, but not good enough. So yes, I mean there's a beautiful stroke of luck there, if nothing else. He will retake South America. They score Europe. Well, it's been embarrassing, guys. It's been embarrassing. So there we go. C'est la vie. So, how do I come back from this? Pretty not likely. Middle East may yet score for 3 points, which would be lovely, but it's unlikely. I can always play blockade towards the end, see if I get lucky. Although it doesn't do a lot because I don't have enough battlegrounds. Portuguese Empire crumbles isn't attractive because it becomes a 3-on-0 realignment fest. Oh boy. Not a lot of pleasant options. Yeah, I probably shouldn't linger on this, should I? Because it's a bit of a lost cause. I'll give them South America. Now, if he's got some points card in a space, he can win by victory point instead of final scoring. Well, it'll be victory point anyway, because he's got mucho points. He does get it. So why don't I try a Korean War? For a 6. No. I may not even get to AR7 at this rate. So he's going to take Central America as well. So I guess I start threatening Panama. Okay, well, I hope you've had fun watching. I have had fun playing. He's a great guy to play. Very entertaining. Great chat, amongst other things. So, yes, a lot of respect. Good player, good fun, good guy. And goodbye from me. Do give me feedback. I will have messed up. I usually do. Frequently. So I'm happy to hear. So do tell. Do tell. So let's take 2 ad libya as well. Because why not? Although I guess I might take them out of here to make them less breakable. So he'll put that in Panama, and then I'm out of options because of Purge. But I may make it to final scoring. Haha. Happy days. I'll blockade him for fun, just in case he's not saved any ops. I can't type toffee. So he'll pop one of those into South Africa, and the other one he can throw up in the air, because he's got this map over a barrel. Alright, yeah, feedback very welcome. I've got a lot of work to do, a lot of room for improvement. I will say at least, when you saw me in the tournament, I was a 1500s player, and I've been solidly 1600. Even with this, I stay 1624, so I'm on the up. I'd love to be a 1700 player and, eventually a 2000s player. But I guess I'm too error prone. Look forward to his video. Yeah, so we'll compare notes. But boy, 39 points. A comprehensive victory there for the USA. All hail capitalism. Look forward to SaucySoviet's feed. Written feedback at the username Cardlinger on Reddit or on the YouTube feed. Very welcome. Please make me a better player. As you can see, I have a lot of room to improve, and I'm reliant on your charity. So fingers crossed for that. Thank you very much. We'll upload now. And away I go. Thank you very much, guys. Pleasure.